All right. Hey guys, it's Avi over here from musical.engineering. I'm just I have a client in about 15 minutes and wanted to warm up and thought it'd be a great idea to go live here and show you guys a little bit about what I do when warming up. So it really only takes about 5-10 minutes to really get warmed up, and the main crux of my practice sessions and my warm-up sessions are completely centered around this guy right here, the metronome. I know. If you don't use a metronome during your practice routines, I seriously recommend you start doing so. They are perhaps the single best way to make progress and to increase the amount of progress that you can make very, very quickly. Now, if you've never been to my channel before, which wouldn't surprise me because I have a whole 39 subscribers, amazing, please subscribe. I clearly need them. So here, let's really quickly, what I love to start off first with, and if you have any questions, please throw them into the chat, or if afterwards, just leave a comment or something. I'm happy to answer anything that you might have. First thing I do, no matter what, I start with a chromatic exercise, usually to slightly lower beats per minute. Let's start at maybe 90 right now. I tend to start with 16th notes, so that's 4 notes for every click. So let's go right here. We're at 90. And here we go. So this is 4 notes per click. And you can speed this up really, really nicely. And it's a great way to build technique and speed. We're going to go all the way up the fretboard with this one. I teach this one to my students all the time, and the progress they make it's real. Even just doing this for a few months, it changed my guitar playing, like to an insane degree. Okay, almost up there. So this is number 1. This is the first thing to do. Last one. These last frets are a little bit tough. There we go. Very good. Okay, cool. So there we are. 1 second. Just gonna make the volume a little bit higher. There we go. That'll be better. That'll be better. Much better. Okay, so that's number 1. I'm going to turn the metronome off for a second. So that's number 1, right? One of your chromatics. And the way I was doing it, I just go every single fret, 1, 2, 3, 4 in every position. When you get to the bottom, you slide up on your pinky to the next fret, then go down, right? And you go there, you slide up again, and that's how you just keep going. Just keep going up the neck that way. So that's the first thing you want to do. That's a really great thing to start off with. So the next thing, I go through the modes and I go through the scale usually. And why that's really helpful is because it just kind of gets you going a little bit. We were just doing 3 notes, 4 notes per string, right? We're doing every finger with chromatics. Now we're doing 3 notes per string. I like to do regular 3-note string patterns. Scale patterns, 3-finger scale patterns. Sorry. So we're going to do the same tempo. What I like to do is I'll do every exercise at 1 tempo, and then I repeat the entire cycle going up a couple of BPM, usually about 6 to 8 BPM will go up by every single time. And just kind of continue like that, right? And that's a great way to get yourself warmed up really quickly and really, really well. So again, this is Amadi from musical.engineering. Head over to the website. You can hit subscribe. You can hit like. That'd be awesome. I very, very, very much appreciate it. As they say, smash that like. No, that doesn't work for me. Okay, I'm not going to say that again. Wow. Okay, so here we go. Now we're doing our scales. 90 beats per minute. 16th notes. all the way up the fretboard just then, yeah? And every single one of those, basically I'm just in G major, but starting in G major here, right? And we go up, so it's the next. So now we're starting in G major, but we're starting and ending on A. So that's A Dorian. These are, you know, the Greek modes. If you ever heard of them, if you haven't, they're really, really cool. They allow you to really take advantage of some really interesting and unique sounds that you would definitely recognize if you heard them. They are a little bit difficult to get used to using, but they are super useful, and they're a great way to, you know, practice your scale patterns. And, you know, that way, if you do them with every single key, you can really know your way around the fretboard no matter what key you're in, and it's really, really fantastically useful. So let's keep going. So the next thing I like to do is just a minor scale pattern, just going up, kind of like all the way up here. I'll show you what I mean. I do same thing. So that this 3 fingers per string. We'll go up this minor scale pattern. We'll go all the way back down. We kind of start from here. We end up here, and that's and it's gonna be a little bit fun. Let's keep going. 90 beats per minute still. Sorry. Yeah. Just put on a little latency mode. I'm going through Logic right now. If you guys have any gear questions or anything like that, or how I put my guitar, get my guitar set up, I have my guitar right here, getting plugged right into my interface. It's a PreSonus Studio 24C. It's newish interface. It's okay. And that's going directly into Logic. And I have a pedal board down here that I'm using. It's going directly into it as well. It's a Digitech Rp 500. They're pretty good. Decent amount of sounds. Quality-wise, you know, could be better, could be worse. For the price, it's you get a crap ton of options, which is pretty amazing. And I found a pretty decent amp and cab sim on there that I tend to like the tone of. So that's what I'm going with here. And so, if any other questions, please feel free to ask. Remember, hit subscribe if you can. I see there's literally one person here, so if you don't want to, that's fine too. I'm doing this for me, really. Anyway, so that's the next thing I tend to like to do. Go to that minor scale, and then I do this this arpeggio thing that I made up. This is sort of my own thing that I did. I haven't done it in a while, so I might mess it up. But this one's pretty fun. It's a triplet practice right here. We're still at 90, and this is usually the last thing I'll do, and then I'll bump it up. This is like a tried and true tested practice routine that I've been doing for years and years, and it's really great for technique, really great for increasing your speed, and it really gets your sense of rhythm down super well because you are using this guy right here. This is your best buddy as a musician, the metronome. 3, 4. Whoa, see, I haven't done it in a long time. Let's try again. Whoa. There it is. Okay. This is the tricky part right here. It's a lot of pinky work and really great for making sure that your pinky is just as useful as your other fingers. One more time. Then right here, I like to switch to major. So yeah, that last little bit is like this old Ingve exercise. I just kind of tacked onto it because I thought it sounded really cool and it was really great little tonal mix up there. So yeah, so that was mostly it. It's really just those 1, 2, 3, 4 things, and so that's at 90. And then you can bump it up, right? So let's bump it up by 10 BPM. Now we're at 100. Do the exact same thing. We're getting a little bit of latency here. Right, and then you keep going, do the exact same thing. Hold on, just need to quickly change some settings on Logic and audio. If you ever get latency or pops or anything like that, what you can do is you can change the buffer size. You can get it lower or higher. Oftentimes, you can just a tiny bit. I go between 64 and 128. That's usually the best for recording. And the major scale, and go all the way down. Right, and then go into that minor one. Then you go down and you go back to the arpeggio. So that's really helpful. You can just keep doing it. Let's go up one more time. Just got a couple of minutes left. Let's go up to, say, 116. You see how this can be so useful in terms of building speed, building technique. This is the exact same thing that we're going to want to do, just that was the chromatic one, go do the scales. And then the minor run. And then go to the arpeggios again. And yet, this may seem repetitive, but this is the process. This is the process that you do. Excuse the. This is the process that you do in order to get anything down. Really, any song that you're learning. If there's a passage you need to learn, you slow it down, you get it with the metronome, and then you speed it back up incrementally. All right, I'm sorry, that's all the time I actually have today. I've got to meet with a client in literally about 45 seconds. So let me know what you guys think. I know this will stick around YouTube for a while, so throw me a comment, throw me a subscribe and a like, all that stuff. I'm not going to say the thing again because it was really bad. It's smashed. No, it's not me. It's not me at all. All right, well, thank you so much, one person. It's probably me on a different browser, honestly. That's where most of my views come from. It's just me watching my videos to make sure that they're not terrible. Well, thank you guys so much for joining with me if you're catching this after the fact. And I will see you guys soon in the next video. All right? See you later. This is Avi from musical.engineering. That's the website, by the way, in case you didn't know. Okay, bye.